Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Oh, as a part of our Bhagavad Gita studies, we have started Gita Dhyana in our last Satsanga. And we are discussing the first part of the first shloka. The first shloka is Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambah Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini. This is the first shloka. So here we are taking an oath. We are swearing that we will follow Bhagavad Gita. Amba Tvam Anusandadhami. This is the oath. O mother, Tvam Anusandadhami. I am following you. And which Bhagavad Gita I am following? What is Bhagavad Gita? It is explained, Parthaya Pratibodhita. Parthaya Pratibodhita. That is taught unto Partha. That which has been taught to Partha. Partha is Arjuna here. By whom? Bhagavata. By the Bhagavan. We have seen different meanings of the term Bhagavan. So when we are calling a teacher, it would mean the all-knowing one. Bhagavata, by Bhagavan. Then comes the question, which is this Bhagavan? By whom Arjuna was taught? Then it is said, Narayanena, Bhagavata Narayanena. By Bhagavan Narayana. The meaning of Narayana also we have discussed in detail. So now there comes a question. If somebody else is coming and saying, this has been taught by Bhagavan Narayana. That is, somebody is coming and reporting. That may not be the teachings of Bhagavan. Because his ideas, his observations, his affiliations, all that will influence him. And so when somebody else is reporting, this piece of advice was given by Bhagavan, it will be entirely different from what has been taught by Bhagavan. So a question comes whether this was taught directly by Bhagavan or by somebody else. If it is reported by somebody else, then his thoughts, his ideas, everything will be there. So it will be teachings of Bhagavan plus something. Therefore, this question comes. The answer is Swayam. Swayam. Narayanena Swayam. That means by himself. That means Bhagavan himself taught this. This piece of teaching was given by Bhagavan himself. So there is no other's influence. This is the teaching of Bhagavan. So that is the meaning of Parthaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. Then another question comes. Oh Swami, when did Bhagavan teach this? Was it sometimes when Bhagavan and Arjuna sat together in some solitary place, most conducive for such a philosophical exposition? No. It was given in the battlefield. It was given in the midst of the battle. And when both the armies, army of Dhartarashtra's, consisting of 11 Akshauhinis, and army of Pandavas, consisting of 7 Akshauhinis, were arrayed. And it was in such a circumstance. At the very beginning of the battle, this piece of advice was given. Then a question comes with it. How is it possible? When thousands and thousands of warriors are getting ready to fight, or when they are indulging in fighting, how two persons Shri Krishna and Arjuna can talk, can discuss. How can they have a discussion of Vedanta or Dharma Shastra? The two consisting of 700 verses. It will take 1.5 hours or 2 hours to complete the discussion. Are you saying all the warriors or the soldiers will wait for them to conclude? What nonsense! How is it possible? This is the question. So the answer is each and every words or words in this Bhagavad Gita was not spoken by Bhagavan. Then the gist of Bhagavad Gita, it was imparted by Bhagavan to Arjuna. All the teachings which we are getting from the second chapter up to the 18th chapter were taught by Bhagavan. There is no doubt in that. But presenting in the form of shlokas and dividing into chapters, all these were not the works of Bhagavan. Bhagavan gave the teaching and Arjuna heard. That's all. And who wrote this? Who has given the structure? The reply is Vyasena Grathitam. Purana Munina. This is the reply. Vyasena Grathita. Grathitam. It means tied together or made together. When we make something together, that is called Grathanam. When we are taking many pieces of paper and with the help of glue, we are making them together and make a book, then it is Grathana. Or when we are taking many flowers and make a garland, then it is Grathana. That is making together, tying together. So the advice, the teachings given by Bhagavan was tied together in the book form by Vyasena, by Vyasa. So Vyasa did this. It is the work of Vyasa. Vyasa is not the name. Vyasa is one who is editing. Vyasa is Vyasa. One who has edited is Vyasa. He is famous by the name Veda Vyasa. Vivyasa Vedan idi Vyasa. One who has edited Veda is Veda Vyasa. And he lived in Ireland. So he is Dvaipayana. Dvipa is island. Dvaipayana is one who is coming from an island. So he is Dvaipayana. And what was his name? His name was Krishna. Krishna. Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. So Krishna taught this to Arjuna, and Krishna wrote it as a book. The first is Sri Krishna, and the second, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Both are Krishnas. Vyasena Grathitam. There also comes another doubt or a question. This Vyasa will have his own views and ideas. And of course, that will influence, or such ideas and his own visions will come in between the teachings of Bhagavad. Not in the form of some interpolations, but that
I think we lost Swamiji's connection, so let's wait.
can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible, Swamiji. Yes.
But in between, network has gone.
Yeah, we lost your connection, but we were waiting to rejoin.
So, so the question is, even though this is the teaching of Sri Krishna, if it is written by Bhagavan, Vedavyasa, then of course his ideas and his visions will come in that. Not as interpolations, but the very style itself, very presentation itself will be Vyasa's, not Krishna's. So the reply is, Vyasa is not an ordinary man. He is the author of all the Puranas. He is the author of all the Puranas. Not only that, Puranam means Brahman, the ultimate reality, the absolute existence. So one who is established in that, one who is well established in Brahman, such a Muni is Purana Muni. So there will be nothing personal in him. Even though he will live in this world as long as he has his prarabdha with him, even then, no such limitations will not be in his person, in his individuality. So what he writes will be the teachings of Bhagavan himself. And in this particular subject, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya, gives some more light. In the introductory part of the Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya writes, Tam dharmam bhagavata yathopadishtam vedabhyasaha bhagavan sarvajnaha gīdākhyaihi saptabhihi shlokashataihi upanibabandha. That means the teachings of Bhagavan was arranged in 700 verses and written by Bhagavan Vedavyasa, the all-knowing one, Sarvajnaha, Bhagavan Vedavyasa. So he is the all-knowing one. And therefore, nothing is to be added or deducted from the teaching of Bhagavan. And another aspect is, he himself is Bhagavan. Bhagavan Vedavyasa. So there is nothing to be added or deducted. So the piece of teaching Bhagavan gave unto Arjuna is the same that was written by Bhagavan Vedavyasa. And that we are studying as Bhagavad Gita. So we can come back to our Gita Dhyana. Vyasena grathitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam. In the midst of Mahabharata. In two ways we can explain that. One, in the middle of Mahabharata battle, or in the middle part of Mahabharata text. This Bhagavad Gita comes in the 6th Parva of Mahabharata. 6th Parva is the Bhishma Parva. And within that, this Bhagavad Gita comes. So, Madhye Mahabharata. What is this Bhagavad Gita? Advaita Amrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim. This is Advaita Amrita Varshini. Advaita Amrita Varshini means one who is showering the nectar of Advaita. Advaita is non-dualism. Advaita is non-dualism. What we are observing as the world around us, and what we are conceiving as Jiva and Ishvara, that is this universe, the controlling faculty, and this me. All these are, in the absolute sense, one and the same. In the transactional level, all these are different. In the manifested level, all these are different. But what is manifested as many is one and the same. So this is the central teaching of Advaita. And this knowledge of non-dualism, that is the nectar, that is the amrutam. How it is amrutam? See, we have that as long as we are identifying ourselves with the body. Because this body has a birth and invariably it will have a death. So when we are identifying with this body, I am this body, I am the Swami Chidananda Puri, I will have a death. There is no doubt in that. But when that knowledge is firmly established within, that I am the imperishable Atman, I am not having birth and death. I am the absolute reality. When this knowledge is there, well established, for him or for her, there is no death. So this knowledge is Amrutam, that which is taking us above the realm of death. And Amrutam is immortality is being showered just as rain. So this Bhagavad Gita is showering the Amrutam of immortality of Advaita, non-dualism. That is the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. And Ashtadashandhyayini, it is divided into 18 chapters. Ashtadashandhyayani Yasyam, in whom there are 18 chapters. She is Ashtadashandhyayini. So there are 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. Just like there are 18 parvas in the Mahabharata, there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, beginning from Arjuna Vishada Yoga and ending with Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. There are 18 chapters. So I am following this Bhagavad, which has been taught by Bhagavan to Arjuna, and which has been written by Bhagavan Vedavyasa and added in the Mahabharata text, and which is showering the nectar of immortality. And that immortality is nothing but the knowledge of or the realization of non-dualism. And that having 18 chapters within, such Bhagavad Gita I am following. O Mother, Amba, Tvam Anusandadhami, I am following you. So following an individual is something physical. But when we are following Bhagavad Gita, how it is? How is it possible? That is, I am studying, or I will study, I will try my best to study, learn. Daily I will learn. And the teachings I will follow in my life. That is following the Bhagavad Gita. So, studying daily and trying to follow in our life, in our practical life, that is this follow. Tvam anusantadhami. Bhagavad Gita, O Bhagavad Gita. Bhavadveshini. Bhavadveshini, that is another name given to Bhagavad Gita. Bhavadveshini. What is bhavam? Bhavam is pauna punyana bhavati. That is happening again and again. What is happening again and again, that is bhava. Taking birth, then dying, again taking birth, then dying. This cycle of transmigration, that is bhava. So one who is opposing this, dveshini means one who is opposing. So one who is opposing this transmigratory cycle, she is bhavadveshini. That means one who will protect us from the cycle of birth and death. One who will save us. That Bhagavad Gita I am following. So I will learn and I will try my best to follow the teachings in my life. So this is the pledge we have to take. And for this we are studying Bhagavad Gita. It is not for time passing. It is not for anything else, but it is for practicing in life that we are studying Bhagavad Gita. So this is our view. With this view, we have to learn Bhagavad Gita. So the first shloka of this Gita Dhyana itself gives a clear picture regarding what Bhagavad Gita teaching is, and it dispels many doubts that will creep into our mind when we study Bhagavad Gita. So we can take the second shloka in our next sitting. So if you want to ask anything, you can ask. If I know, I will reply. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. This was a question last time, as we had a question, and because of the time constraint, you replied the first part. The second part was like, in a classical Vyakhyanam or Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita, if you look at one of the outstanding or one thing is standing out, like the Kashmir, the Shaiv is Abhinava Gupta, who is a very much scholar in Tantra and other text and Natya Shastram. He has extensively cited and written about Bhagavad Gita. Is it something the rest of the classical works are belongs to the like the Vaishnava trade? And how do you think? Can you shed some light on this?
See, Abhinava Gupta, actually, he wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And it is still available now. And it's a good commentary, of course. We can see Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya, wrote an exhaustive commentary on, that is Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita. And he did another great work. That is, along with writing a Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita, he established the concept of Prasthanatraya. Before Shankaracharya, such a concept was not there. Prasthanatraya. That is three prasthanas together. What are these three prasthanas? Shruti prasthana, Smriti prasthana, and Nyaya prasthana. Upanishad is the Shruti prasthana, Bhagavad Gita is the Smriti prasthana, and Brahma Sutra is the Nyaya prasthana. And the meaning of prasthana is that on which something is firmly established. Let me repeat once more. That on which something is firmly established is a prasthana. Or another meaning is that which will make you established in something else. That also is prasthana. So by prasthanatraya, what Shankaracharya did is, these are the texts on which the philosophical or the darshanik base of Sanatana Dharma is resting. He established that. And that was widely accepted by all the scholars. And therefore, after Shankaracharya, many authors came forward and wrote commentaries on this Prasthanatraya. For and against Shankaracharya. So, in support of the views and opinions of Shankaracharya and against Shankaracharya, against the visions of Shankaracharya. Liberty is there. And subsequently, what happened? It was considered amongst all the scholars to establish one's own darshana as per the Vedantic tradition. It is essential to write commentary on this Prasthanatraya. So we can see acharyas who negated Advaita wrote commentaries on Prasthanatraya, like Madhvacharya and like Ramanujacharya, like Nimbarkacharya, like Vallabhacharya, so many acharyas. And take the case of Bhagavad Gita. After Shankaracharya wrote this Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita, this piece of writing which is a part of Mahabharata, only a small part of Mahabharata. It was widely accepted by all the scholars as a highest Pramana Grantha. Pramana Grantha means a text that is accepted as a Pramana. Pramana is valid means of knowledge. And many acharyas from Shaiva philosophy, many acharyas from Shaktaya philosophy, many acharyas from many who were following many different views and missions, they started writing commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. But all these commentaries are not available now. But many has written commentaries. And Abhinava Gupta Acharya was a great scholar. And see, Kashmiri Shaivism, what is the main focus or main philosophy of that? Where it ends? Kashmiri Shaivism also takes us to the non-dualistic views. And so, Abhinava Gupta Acharya wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Like that, many acharyas wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita, many bhashyams and many. And even before Shankaracharya, there were many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. It was written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya himself in the introductory part of Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, that before me, many scholars have written commentaries, but there are many portions which are contradictory to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and many acharyas who wrote commentaries took Gita in a worldly sense, in a mundane sense. And therefore, it is essential to write a new commentary which will show the real meaning, real purport of Bhagavad Gita, and therefore I am writing this bhashya. So even before Shankaracharya, there were commentaries, many. And Abhinava Gupta Acharya's commentary is a very good one. Not a big one, a small one. It is more like a tika. It is more like a tika. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Apologies. One more question about the commentary. Apologies for that. So one of the later, after the classical era, one of the later commentaries especially in the Bhasha Vyakhyams like Jnaneshwari by Sant Jnaneshwar, there was a question like, could you please mention a little about the Jnaneshwari and Sant Jnaneshwar in Marathi?
See, such was the influence of Bhagavad Gita, especially after the Shankara Bhashya came, that all scholars who were following different darshanas, they were forced to write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. And in many languages, not only in Sanskrita, but in many other languages also, different commentaries were written. So if we are viewing important commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, many are in Sanskrit, like that written by Ramanujacharya. It's a great commentary. He is not accepting Advaita. He is against Advaita philosophy, but even then it is very beautiful commentary. Very beautiful. Not only is it beautiful, it is a very good exhaustive commentary. And then by Madhvacharya. Then in the Shankara tradition, the greatest we have to mention is one written by Shankarananda Saraswati and the other by Madhusudana Saraswati. These are some great commentaries in Sanskrit. And after that, many came. And the Tika of Anandagiri, then one commentary written by Sridhara Swami, then Abhinavaguptas, then there is a great Tika on Shankara Bhashya, written by one Dhanapala Acharya, that is Bhashyotkarsha Deepika. So, such commentaries happen. And in regional languages also, so many came. Among them, the first to mention, no doubt in that, first to mention is that written by the greatest sage, sage Santa Jnaneshwar. He was a great scholar. He was a great bhakta. He was a great jnani, all in one. And it is more like an explanation or exposition of Bhagavad Gita than a commentary. It is called Jnaneshwari Vyakhya, but it do not have all the requisites of a Vyakhya. But it is a great work in simple language with many examples, most examples taken from the common life. It will take us to the heart of Bhagavad Gita. So it is more an exposition, or it is more detailed work or thought on Bhagavad Gita than a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Now it is available in almost all languages, Jnaneshwari. Please have that and read. It's a wonderful book. There, the fragrance and sweetness of bhakti and the firmness of jnana, all are there. All are there. There's no doubt this will take us directly into the heart of Bhagavad Gita. If we are taking that, we can read. But now, as for this question, this answer is enough, I think. So please make it a point to read Jnaneshwari. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Next question is from Hemaji. Hemaji, you can unmute yourself. You're still on mute. You're still on mute. Yes.
Swamiji, just now you said that Advaita Amrita Varshini, this Bhagavad Gita. Now, this Madhvacharya and Ramanuja, they are Dvaitis. So, how do they interpret this Advaita Advaita philosophy in their Dvaita way?
See, they never interpreted Advaita philosophy in a Dvaita. They are not accepting that the philosophy or the darshana of Bhagavad Gita is Advaita. They cannot accept it. See, they are great acharyas. There is no doubt in that. But their vision was, the vision of Madhvacharya was based on Dvaita. That is, Ishvara and Jiva cannot be one. Ishvara is all powerful, all pervading, all powerful, and very embodiment of love, care, and all these virtues. Whereas a Jiva cannot be all-knowing one. A Jiva cannot be all-powerful. So by worshipping Ishvara, a Jiva can have purity of mind. And in that pure mind, the blessings of Ishvara will be showered. And he can have peace, he can have absolute bliss. And that is moksha. And according to the philosophy of Vishishta Dvaita, that is something different. Jivas are part of Ishvara. Jiva and Ishvara cannot be one. They are different. But they are not entirely different. Because the qualities Sat, Chit and Ananda are there in Jiva also. And only because Jiva also have the Sat, Chit, Ananda, we cannot say it is same as Ishvara. One is all powerful, the other is not all powerful. So Jivas are parts of Ishvara. This is their philosophy. That's good. All these darshanas are essential in this world. Because only a microscopic minority of people can accept and digest Advaita. For all others, Advaita will not be suitable. So for the majority of the populace, Dvaita is essential. That will suit them. And let them pray. That is good. So neither Ramanujacharya nor Madhvacharya explained Advaita in a Dvaita way. Never. They saw Dvaita in Bhagavad Gita. They saw Vishishta Dvaita in Bhagavad Gita and they explained. What these acharyas saw or realized, that they taught unto the world. So Shankaracharya realized the heart of Vedanta is Advaita. With that realization, he wrote Bhashyas. And after that, the tradition is there. And many acharyas wrote commentaries on that line. But that was not acceptable for Madhvacharya. So, because he saw Dvaita, so he wrote that. Then again, Ramanujacharya, he cannot accept both this Dvaita and Advaita. So he saw Vishishta Dvaita and he explained that. All Acharyas have that liberty. It is their freedom. There is nothing wrong in that. See, when we are climbing a mountain, just imagine you have ascended 100 meters and you are seeing places around you and you are writing down what you are seeing, or you are taking a picture in your camera. And again you are ascending, and at the height of 200 meters, you are doing the same thing. Again, at 300 meters, you are doing the same thing. Thus and thus you are climbing up. And finally, you are reaching at the pinnacle. Then you are getting the whole vision around. Acharyas, real acharyas have this whole vision. With that vision, they are full within and they are living in that bliss. But they know what are the visions at different stratas and what are required for the common people. And therefore, different darshanas are there to suit all the society. This is one way of explanation. Another way of explanation is those acharyas, he was in that strata and he wrote. These are two explanations. However, that is the difference. And not only in the case of Gita, even Mahavakyas. You see, for example, take the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi. You are that. That is the meaning of Tattvamasi. You are that. But never an Acharya of Dvaita Parampara can accept that. How it can be? You cannot say you are Ishvara. Ishvara is something different, you are different. How both can be one? So they will say Tattvamasi means Tavattvamasi. Tavattvamasi, not Tattvamasi. You are his. He is the master, he is the supreme, and you are his. Not that you are he. So that difference is there. So let me repeat once more. Never did Madhvacharya or Ramanujacharya explain the Advaita in the Dvaita way. They show their philosophy, their darshana in Bhagavad Gita. And of course, in Bhagavad Gita, a Dvaiti can view Dvaita, a Vishishta Dvaiti can view Vishishta Dvaita, and Advaiti can view Advaita. And one who is not at all concerned about this, one who is for doing battle, he can get that teaching. And one who is thinking only of dharma, he can take that teaching from that. Bhagavad Gita is a treasure having all these teachings. How you are viewing, so you can take. This is the answer. Namaste. I think now we can conclude and we can continue in our next. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma.